For better or for worse, the internet brings people together from all over the world and gives us information on almost any topic imaginable. And of course, that includes pornography. There's a lot of debate about just how much of the internet is pornographic, but one thing is clear: if you look for it, you'll find it. So, what does pornography do to our brains, attitudes, and behavior? The short answer is, it's complicated. There's still a lot we don't know, but researchers have studied some of the possible risks and even a few potential benefits. Some of these studies involve disturbing topics like sexual violence, so viewer discretion is advised. Most of the research on pornography is correlational. What does that mean? Well, scientists don't just randomly assign people to watch explicit content and then scan their brains. Instead, these studies rely on surveys, self-reported behavior, and brain imaging. This means the results won't apply to everyone, but they still give us some really useful clues about what might be going on. For instance, some research suggests that frequent pornography use is linked to differences in the brain, especially in an area called the striatum. This is a key part of our brain involved in reward and pleasure. Sexual arousal activates many different parts of the brain, and studies show that people who feel their porn use is addictive tend to show much stronger activity in this reward system. Other studies found that heavier porn use is linked to changes in the size and connectivity of parts of the striatum. But here is the really important part. Researchers can't say for sure whether porn actually causes these changes, or if people who just naturally need stronger stimulation are more drawn to pornography in the first place. With correlational research, cause and effect are notoriously hard to separate. It's a classic chicken-and-egg situation. Another huge question is whether pornography increases aggression, or if it acts as a safe emotional outlet. It's an interesting paradox. In the US and several other countries, as access to pornography increased over the years, rates of violent crime actually decreased. But again, remember our keyword: correlation. This doesn't prove one caused the other. On the other hand, a large analysis from 2016 found that higher consumption of pornography, especially violent content, was linked to higher levels of sexual aggression. A study looking at convicted sex offenders suggested that timing might be a crucial factor. Men who regularly viewed pornography during their adolescent years tended to commit more severe crimes later in life, but those who viewed porn shortly before an offense actually committed less severe acts, which suggests a possible catharsis effect, or a release of tension. Still, it's critical to remember that violent behavior has many causes, and pornography alone can never be the sole explanation. Large studies also show some pretty mixed effects on our attitudes. For example, porn users often reported more egalitarian views about women in leadership roles and in the workplace. However, exposure to pornography, especially the violent kind, was also linked to a stronger belief in harmful rape myths, so it's not a simple picture. The effects on mental health also seem to depend a lot on personal beliefs. For instance, people who watched pornography while morally opposing it, they felt it was wrong, but did it anyway, reported higher levels of depression. This internal conflict, known as cognitive dissonance, can take a real toll. So, is pornography harmful or harmless? The truth is, the answer really depends on the person, the specific content they're watching, the timing, and their own personal values. More than anything, what this all tells us is that we need a lot more research. The human brain, our behavior, and our psychology are incredibly complex. There are no easy answers here. If you're ever concerned about your own habits or mental health, remember that talking to a professional can make a huge difference. There's no shame in seeking help. Thanks so much for watching, and if you found this video interesting, consider subscribing for more content just like this.